Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Fantastic Four Full Circle. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Fantastic Four Full Circle. It is a Marvel comic, and it is by Alex Ross. And we start off in the Baxter Building in New York with Ben Grimm here. And of course, he's making a sandwich because he's a big guy and he loves his sandwiches. And just as he's about to sit down and start eating it, Johnny Storm comes in and surprises him, and he spills his sandwich all over the place. And while Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm are arguing, all of a sudden someone appears in the room with them and alarms start going off in the building. So these alarms wake everybody up, including Reed Richards and his wife, Sue Storm. And they go over to the intruder and it's not moving. And as Reed is examining the person, all of a sudden the body explodes and all these creepy, weird creatures fly out of it. And after a big fight, the Fantastic Four are able to round up and kill all these monsters. And after examining them, Reed Richards determines that these are monsters from the negative zone, and that someone or something has used a body to transport them from the negative zone to our dimension. So of course, the Fantastic Four springs into action. They suit up and head into the negative zone to find out who sent the monsters. And that's where I'm going to stop it. I don't want to spoil anything else. So this is actually the first book that I've seen from Alex Ross in a long time, and this book looks significantly different than anything else I've ever seen Alex Ross do. Normally he does very statuesque paintings of heroes that look very realistic and lifelike, but with this book he seems to have pushed himself into a different area and art style. It's so unique, and I just don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. Now, I don't think I've ever read anything written by Alex Ross, so that was a new thing, and I was kind of thinking maybe it wouldn't be as good because of that, but I enjoyed this a lot. And I don't know the most about Fantastic Four history, but I didn't have any problem picking this up. From what I read, this is actually a continuation of a story that Jack Kirby and Stan Lee did from Fantastic Four issue 51, which is called This Man, This Monster. So Ross is actually taking some classic stories and building his own side stories off of those. And I think he did a great job. This definitely had an older feel, and it also felt like I just picked up some issues off the rack. This feels like we're starting after the events of issue 51 because he references specific things from that issue, but it's not nearly as wordy or written in that older style like the original 60s issue. If you've never read the Fantastic Four, this is a great place to start because you get a good introduction of all the characters and their group dynamics right at the beginning, and it references stuff from older issues without holding your hand too much and becoming too exposition heavy. This art is amazing. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a book quite like this. It's almost like Alex Ross has evolved his style and given it a bunch of life. His new style in this is really dynamic, which is kind of different from his usual stuff, which is way more statuesque, and it's a lot of posed figures that look more static. But the way he draws this book, there's a lot more action and motion conveyed in the style. And I think the thing that really makes this book pop out, besides the fantastic artwork, is the colors. They are crazy. He does a really good job distinguishing between the color palettes of Earth and when you're in the negative zone. And pretty much every page of this book just pops and is beautiful to look at. So I highly recommend this book. Even if you don't like the Fantastic Four and you just kind of generally know about them, it is super easy just to pick up and read and not get lost or anything. And it really does give you that Silver Age feel of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So I'm going to give this book a 5 out of 5. This is definitely the best thing I've read all year. So if you saw anything you like, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store, and we will see y'all in the next one.